Here's my controversial take on the American Apparel documentary. It was truly a documentary of nothingness. And hear me out. Everything about the brand's promise, positioning, and statement is that it was hypersexualized, very weird, and like on the fringes of society. And nothing in the documentary seemed inauthentic to how the brand is presenting themselves. Like every single ad is half-naked women in sexualized positions. Employees are living at the house. He has like multiple consensual relationships with employees and girlfriends. To be in that culture and community is to not be shocked by the way in which it led the brand.
You're talking about the people who are on the documentary. I'm not sure I would recommend it to people to watch the whole thing. We ended up fast forwarding through it because essentially what they did is they found 3 ex-employees, a scandal that was in American Apparel, and then just dragged out 3 employees telling their story who weren't really, you were led to believe they were high up in the company, but you don't, because there were some clips of them. But what I thought was most interesting about American Apparel is, yes, it was sexualized, but their models were real people. I love that they weren't wearing makeup, that they were actually just taken right out. Like that was kind of an authentic nature to, I think that's what attracted people to it. It wasn't overdone filters. It was just real people being sexual in their own way. I thought that was cool. And they called it American Apparel, and they made their clothes in America, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
You know, but there was a lot, and it's a Canadian in LA making American Apparel. There's just a lot of stuff going on there that was attractive to these hipsters, and the pieces weren't even that interesting, right?
No, I mean, I lived through the American Apparel craze, like huge, because I was in high school, and my good friend's older sister ended up being a photographer for American Apparel. And it was a really big deal because the way that is exactly what they did in the documentary. You shot in the store. So you did casting calls. And this is the age of Abercrombie, which was doing the exact same thing, right? Their employees were their models, and they would do casting calls in their stores. And it made you feel like you're a part of something bigger to work for their culture, because it was ingrained in like you were one of them to work there. And that's why it was such a big deal to work at American Apparel or Abercrombie. And I remember my friend, whose older sister is a photographer, she got a job at American Apparel, and it was like such an honor. We'd go and visit her after school, and it was like in the bottom in the subway. And but the thing about American Apparel is that it didn't really make sense. It almost felt like a costume store. Like you were kind of forced to like make outfits out of weird pieces. It wasn't a fully functional like clothing store. And then they had random jewelry that was like at the front, like this calculator watch. And I remember feeling like it's such a great study of nobody really knows what's going on, but like because everybody else is interested in it, like it's cool. And it was like nobody really got it. The other piece though that I want to add to the American Apparel documentary is that I think it needs to be said that I'm sick of watching these or hearing these statements of a job you didn't deserve to have by 0 credentials, and then complaining that the environment was less than perfect. Like these people were literally saying they showed up for like a base level job interview. Someone at a table asked them what they wanted to do with the company. They said maybe merchandising, which is like setting up the mannequins. And they put them as like in charge of district merchandising for the state of California. And they had 0 credentials or background.
They essentially get 3 people and they make it like kind of, oh my God, we ultimately were victims. We were taken advantage of. But your point is, if you show up for a job wanting to be a cashier and they make you director of marketing because you're cool looking, you're probably in a dysfunctional space.
It's a red flag.
So, you know, like you're getting something you didn't deserve. And then if you stay there for 8 years, don't in the end do a documentary and say, oh my God, we were so mistreated. Like, you know, you took advantage of an early jump up a thing, and then in the end criticize the place for being dysfunctional. You know, like, I thought it was a really astute point.
To me, that is not TV.
Yeah.
Like if you're showing up for a job that you don't deserve and you get an insane credential bump and then it ends up being a dysfunctional space
or a Ponzi scheme, like that's usually what happens in, you know, in the Wolf of Wall.
Oh my God, I was taken advantage of. And I'm
you enjoyed your.
That's why you are not being hired for head of merchandising at Google. To me, when you watch a documentary like that, you're like, holy shit, this is stressful. But like the American Apparel one, like the guy was a weirdo. Like and there was no hiding it. Like he's walking into stores and being like, "You're a model. Take off your shirt. We're gonna take a photo." And the girl's like, "Okay." Like
I actually think what should come back in style are those kind of Adidas green jockey underpants he was walking around.
Oh my gosh!
Like those things.
But but also like accept it for what it is. I'm not advocating for abuse in the workplace, but I just like obviously.
Thanks for that qualifier.
I know. I feel like it's coming from me, but to me that documentary was a waste of space.